Hello, sorry I've been away for a while. It's been due to illness, but I'm on the mend now, so back I am. So welcome back. Today we're talking about Axel Cabana, the ex-Welsh choir boy, obviously, turned jihadist mass murderer. There's been an inquiry, there's been a report, and so we're diving into the wild world of government blunders or sleights of hand, mental health mishaps, and the curious case of Keir Starmer's 90-second visit to Southport. Because who doesn't love a tragedy with a political farce and a Prime Minister's oblivience? It's said that Starmer had a party to get to on the day that he visited Southport, and as we all learnt from COVID, our Starmer loves nothing more than a good party. Why let the slaughter of innocents ruin the ambience of a really good night on the piss? So let's start with Alphonse, the father of Axel, a Rwandan. He was in the Rwandan resistance. He came to Britain as an asylum seeker in 2002 when he was actually in the rebel army. He was an officer in the rebel army. During a coup, I've had enough of this rebelliousness, like skipping the country and going to live in Wales. I've had enough of trying to overthrow this government and make things better for the people. I know, I'm going to the UK. I'd love to know the real reason behind his sudden change of heart, changing the front line of a war for the Welsh hills and then the seaside. Maybe he just wanted any future offspring to be in a really good choir. So Alphonse and his wife, Mrs. Rudabicana, Ruby, you know what I mean, Axel's mum and dad, they apparently knew that he was being radicalised. He was walking around with knives and stuff, but just thought it was a phase he was going through. Or perhaps they thought he was autistic. They didn't tell anyone though. A bit like certain communities didn't tell anyone when they feared there were rapists in their midst. I'm only joking. They didn't know. How could they have done? And then there's Keir Starmer, our beloved leader. Voted in by just 19% of the population, such is the rejection of criminal liars all across the Houses of Parliament. Two-tier Keir, who's apparently got a PhD in in-and-out visits. 90 seconds in Southport. Was he checking his watch or just practising for a speed dating event? Was he checking his watch or just practising for a speed dating event? I don't know how you meet Ukrainian rent boys. Sorry, models. And I'm not saying that Starmer does. But let's say just for entertainment purposes. Not he meets them for entertainment purposes, which he clearly would if he did. But oh, you know what I mean. You know what he looked like that day. Hello, I'm Keir and I'm here to... Oh, gosh, is that the time? Got a dash. Starmer seemed less concerned by a killing spree of another Islamic nutjob, resulting in a tragedy that left 3 little girls dead and other little girls and adults with life-changing injuries. He seemed less concerned about that than a minor mosque incident that necessitates a day visit and a £10 million investment of taxpayers' hard-earned money to, ironically, keep the Muslim community safe. You want irony? There it is. I'm guessing there's not as many votes for the grieving white and black parent community as there is for Labour from those brainwashed in the doctrine of the religion of peace. So back to the inquiry. We didn't really need an inquiry to show that Starmer is just a piece of uncaring, possibly satanic scum. We all saw the pictures on the news for ourselves. So back to the inquiry. Let's talk about the health professionals, the teachers, the police. Apparently they're the new gatekeepers of sanity, or insanity in this case, depending on how you look at it. A teacher raises concerns about a student carrying knives, and what do? They accuse her of racial stereotyping. Because nothing says I care like shutting down someone's legitimate worries with a label. I guess Starmer and co would have branded this teacher far right, in the same way that anyone not agreeing with racially aggravated torture and rape by predominantly Pakistani Muslim men are clearly just to the right of Hitler. From a moral viewpoint, Surely anyone in Starmer's Britain knows that sometimes white, black and other coloured non-Muslim women and children just have to take one for the team in the name of diversity. If they don't, they're clearly far right and Islamophobic. If you can't accept Islamic rape gangs, it's you that are wrong. You that is Islamophobic. It's not them, it's you, you bigot. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But these people are crazy. Or evil. Probably a bit of both. I mean, come on. If a kid walks into school with a knife and you don't raise the alarm, are you a teacher? Or just a really bad magician? Watch me make my concerns disappear. It turns out that Axel, this newly educated conduit for the religion of peace, had been expelled from the school for carrying weapons before. No teacher wants to be branded far right by the Starmers of this world, though, do they? Imagine the shame in the lefty staff room. You've reported that nice Axel lad for carrying a machete. How do you sleep at night, you racist bigot? And then we have the inquiry itself. It's like a government bingo game. No clear ownership, poor information sharing, and my personal favourite, it's going to take some saying, misattribution to autism spectrum disorder. It's like they're trying to get a prize for the most creative excuses. My grandson's autistic, true story, bless him. He's young, he's got time, but I'll be shocked if his condition makes him want to carry a machete, formulate ricing in his bedroom, or download the ISIS terror manual. I've done a course on autism, that's true story as well, in order to understand him better. But if he starts doing any of those things, especially if he's been a choir boy before, I'll be thinking this maybe isn't the same condition that makes it hard for him to communicate his feelings to the people around him. Everyone blaming everyone else. Imagine if we applied this logic to other areas of life. Oh, you crashed the car? Must be the weather, not your terrible driving. Who else was autistic? Peter Sutcliffe? Brady and Hindley? Fred West? Hitler? Only joking. They were all white. They were just the evil bastards. But here's the kicker, folks. We're left with a system that seems more interested in protecting itself than protecting us and protecting those young girls. So what do? We shout, we protest and we demand accountability. Because if we don't, who will? Keir Starmer. We march, but do they take any notice? No. You could have 10 million marching through London. Please. And no, he's too busy with his next 90-second photo op to take any notice of those people outside. These people are criminal psychopaths in government and they're not bothered about a march. I'm sure May the 16th will be great. Will it achieve anything? No. If they don't know how the country hates them, how the country views them. I say country, but they've still got supporters. I think they must be Satanists. I see them on X all the time. How can you support this? Support it. So keep writing to them. And maybe when there's an election, stand. If you can't understand the insanity around you, stand. You're getting poorer by the day. There's a big cartel and you're not in it. Keep supporting these people. It's going to get us nowhere. So let's keep the pressure on. Demand better and maybe, just maybe, get our priorities straight. The children should come first. Because at the end of the day, we need leaders who actually lead, not just those who speed through town like they're in a race against time to stop the next arson attack on their property from presumably autistic Ukrainian rent boys. I know they're white and don't meet the exact criteria for seemingly violent autism, but what other reason could there be in 2026? It is 2026 after all, and maybe they actually identify as black Islamists. If a bloke can put a dress on with his meat and two veg hanging down under the bottom of it and be classed as Zach Polanski and co as a woman, then why not? If Axel hadn't been misdiagnosed with autism in this report, he could have always gone on the hormones slant caused by his period, as he now identified as a female. It's 2026. If you're not a white heterosexual male in 2026 in the UK, you've got the whole of the propaganda machine actually protecting you. not naming people for atrocities, not describing people for atrocities. You know it's a white male within minutes. But the BBC just seem to protect people. Channel 4 seem to protect people. Sky News seem to protect people. The police seem to protect people if they're in the right minority. It's ridiculous. It's causing division, and I think that's what they probably want. They probably want all-out civil war so they can bring in their draconian lockdowns, 15-minute cities, facial recognition, digital ID. They can't be so blind, so inept to protect terrorists, to allow undocumented fighting age men into the country. They can't be that stupid. It's got to be contrived. It's got to be for a reason. And I think that reason must be all-out civil war. It's got to be. I can't think of anything else that would warrant such wickedness. I don't know what the interview must be like at the BBC. Do they leave you alone in a room with a computer that says child porn on top of it and see if you look? And if you do look, you're a shoo-in for the job. Well done. When can you start? Not saying that is the case, but that's what it seems like, isn't it? None of these people really care about the kids. Sadiq Khan just glosses over child abuse in London. Can't even bother to answer questions. Disgusting little man. And yet people vote for him. Starmer, Johnson, Cameron, Blair. People that have made decisions that made people in this country poorer. People that have made decisions that aren't in the country's interest. People that have lied. And there's still people out there gullible, stupid, mentally ill enough to vote for these psychopaths and wear their rosettes. If ever it transpires that all these leaders are all part of a satanic cult, I wouldn't be shocked. Yet there are still ghouls devoid of both morality and humanity who support them. Some of these ghoulish Labour supporters point out that they've introduced breakfast clubs. And I suppose they are for the kids. Then you have to ask yourself, with everything else, why? Does it show that even demons have a soft side? Does it show a bit of guilt because there are some families that can't afford to give their kids breakfast, even if they're working a couple of jobs? That's Britain 2026. Or do they just want the kids nourished and capable, ready to be nonced by some paedophile ring or another? Doesn't matter what colour they are, what religion they are, whatever, they're out there. Only difference is the white ones that aren't elite tend to get nicked, which is a good thing. And I'd have chemical castration for them. But it does make me wonder, whenever this government does anything for the kids, we've taken away the 2-child cap. We want more kids out there to be nonced. Right, thanks for watching, folks. Let me know your thoughts. Please subscribe, like the video if you do. And if you see something, say something about it, even if it means you're getting called a racist or far right or whatever these Satanists use to turn people against you. If you've got a good heart, you've got morality and humanity, don't be scared to show it. Please like the video, please subscribe, and yes, please keep questioning everything.
Starmer didn't see the Saville file when he was head of the DPP. Is that the truth or another porky from a liar for all to see? Starmer didn't know that pedo's friend Mandy wasn't fit to represent the UK. He didn't know he was Epstein's friend. He didn't know he leaned that way. He didn't know you should talk to people when visiting scenes of Islamic attack. He didn't know grieving parents are more important than a beer, so he needed to get back. He didn't know that if you are annoyed by your daughter's rape, you're not necessarily far right. He didn't know that Brits have had enough, and some even think it's time to fight. He didn't know that Muslim and elite grooming Brexit vote, democracy crushed like an egg on the floor. He doesn't know the difference between a hostage and a sausage. He didn't know it was wrong to lie to people. He thought it was tacky. He didn't know that his brutal cuts would give the grannies the fear. Starmer lies and lies and lies again, but still immoral people support him. It's time we all stood up and changed the rules. Run the liars out of town. Time we put us the British first. And what these psychos frown, whether white, black, brown or green Brit. If you want to make this country great, we have to take it into our hands. Or the lies they won't abate. Go out and vote these psychos out and challenge wrongdoing where it's seen. Replace woke lies for community's sake with truth and justice. Let's clean